There's an expression that we use at the Council on 21st Century Learning that we borrowed from somebody else, I'm sure, which is that we need to help our kids be prepared for their future, not our past. And there are a number of ways that we could talk about that. We certainly talked about it in terms of exploring the unknown. But I think another way in which we need to talk about it is a more specific and concrete way, which is that we need to help our kids prepare to make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
If there's one area where I think our generation has truly failed, it's in making the world a better place. Mm-hmm. We have not made it more peaceable. We have not improved the quality of the environment. We have not improved the quality of the vast majority of people's lives. We have contributed, in fact, to all of those things being worse than they were. It's not an area of which I'm particularly proud. But I think that we could hope that we could help our kids to do a better job of helping the environment be healthful for all, of making sure that all people's lives have hope and promise and the things that they need to thrive, of bringing some kind of peace between cultures and between nations, of even bringing nations into some kind of closer connection. All right, fine, nice wish. But how do we teach kids to become better citizens of the world in this way?
I think we're very fortunate in our in the time period in which I teach. Teaching social studies is a prime location for this kind of instruction. But when I was young, I did not realize there were people in the world that struggled in ways I didn't struggle. So although I was an empathetic person, I couldn't have empathy for a culture that I was unfamiliar with. The sheltered environment that I was in prevented me from witnessing ways I could help the world beyond the borders of my community. So we are so fortunate to have the ability to connect with villages in Africa that don't have school facilities. Kids walk 5 to 6 miles to go to school, where we can connect to all these other cultures and these experiences, which allows us to develop some empathetic sentiment towards these cultures, actually contribute possibly by fundraising. Those are just some small acts, I think, that give kids an opportunity to reach out to cultures and worlds beyond our own. I think when it comes to making decisions in terms of how do we create peace in this world, just recently I had a Facebook discussion with a bunch of friends from where I'm from, or I should say classmates from my childhood, and they were saying you can't have peace without war. And I found it interesting that some of my current students commented on their posts saying war is not peace. So what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. And I love that their notion of fighting to find peace is different than my particular generation's idea that that's how we got peace. That they really truly believe that with enough connections, with enough knowledge and enough empathy and understanding of other cultures and each other, we actually can come to some diplomatic decisions. Is that the right term? Some good decisions through diplomatic acts, through conversations, compromise, discussions. And so I feel very hopeful that these generations are being exposed to enough worldly events, other cultures, ideas, and notions, and have seen the events and history in of our past, and actually will make a difference. And I'm not sure that peace will be how we want to envision it before our lifetime, but I can sure hope, and I believe that the networking that we have now has afforded these kids an opportunity to empathize in ways that we were not afforded.
But we live in a country, Anita, in which a Christian minister can threaten to burn the Koran because he's upset about something he doesn't even really know the full facts about.
Right.
And we can disrupt the lives and feelings and the religious values of millions, billions of people across the globe. Here we are in this country doing that. And then you think of all the other things that we've done as Americans that have created or contributed to difficulty in the world. How can we really expect that we're gonna make it possible that our kids are gonna do anything different?
Well, I think what's awesome about the whole experience, and I'm not saying anything is awesome about burning somebody's holy book. What is interesting, I should say, about that entire newscast is that the students are looking at that and they're saying, seriously, this completely violates the ideals that we have. And we've had discussions about freedom of speech. When is it too far? When it is a violation of other people? When is it beyond being respectful? And how can you empathize with people? So that one man's act and the fact that it's broadcast so publicly has allowed us to analyze his actions, the effect that it has potentially globally. I mean, far beyond Florida, and what that means for all of us as people. So his act actually is a learning experience for these students, and the way they've responded thus far to that experience it gives me hope that their mindset is not about me, my beliefs, but about the greater world and respect for others and tolerance of others and even appreciation for others. So I'm going to say we're going to take that experience and we're going to turn it into a positive and allow kids to grow from it and hope that other people do it as well.